Great evening, great Wednesday evening, night, right? Tis Catherine Beasley here on day 10 of our self-education, self-everything series, excuse me, and tonight's topic is going to be self-education. And I just wanted to, one, tell you that this New York humidity and mugginess is straight disrespectful. Went outside for a second earlier today, thought I was gonna go hang out, go see some people, and quickly changed my mind because it was hella hot, and I mean hella, and just came right on back inside. So I will catch some people tomorrow, possibly, but it wasn't gonna happen today. Um, so back to the regularly scheduled program. We're talking self-education, and I could talk to y'all about this all day, every day. It is near and dear to my heart. Um, a quote there that I use and say anytime I'm talking about self-education and our book club, especially. If you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you're determined to learn, no one can stop you. By Mr. Zig Ziglar himself. And ask yourself, are you unwilling or determined to learn? So we have lots and lots of deterrents out there to people being able to get access to education, or we had, let me say. It was monetary, it was maybe familial issues, and you just really couldn't have access to it based on, where you lived. You don't have internet, your circumstances, and now there really is no excuse. If you have access to the internet, you can get all of the education you want, and for practically free. I have a friend, cuckoo bird friend, who, she didn't want to go to school, refused to go back to a regular structure where she had to listen to people tell her what to do, and like in a regular school, traditional school system. It wasn't for her, and so she put off um, going back to school because of that reason. And now with the pandemic, right? Where we're talking about, I put a post up saying, what happened for you in the pandemic? What happened for her? She got a bachelor's degree, then she got an MBA, and then she went back to get a master's. I'm just waiting for her to go ahead and go get the PhD and call it a day, right? All using an online program that allowed her to go at her own pace, which means literally during the pandemic, she secured all three of those degrees that easily because she was very determined to learn, absolutely determined to learn and get her degrees because, right, for the field that she's in, having those degrees is really important. Whereas for most people, depending on what it is that you want to do, maybe you don't want to go into a corporate structure. Maybe you want to be your own boss, right? All of this information is out there. When I talk to you about and when I talk to you, and if I've said it online, I know I say it to people all the time. You don't have to have a degree to be successful, right? I wish I had um, known that before I got my degrees and paying off student loans for them. I'm happy with them. I love the education I got. I have lifelong friends and family, right? So I got something out of that education, and it had me gainfully employed. So I'm not saying it was a bad thing for me, but for what I want in life, I really didn't have to have that degree whatsoever because I have mentors. And with this day and age, your ability to access the information that was used and accumulated by people who are successful in your field or overall is unlimited. With your internet connection, YouTube University is available, Google University is available, right? You go online, you search the topic, and then you get plenty I mean, it's just out there. People are giving it away for free. People are charging for it. If you want more involved training and one-on-one with people, you can purchase training in groups or single personal sessions with people. So the information is out there, and one thing that I challenge everyone to do is to figure out what it is that you want, right? Once you've figured out what you want, and we've talked about this in the prior days of our self series, right? how what do you want in life, right? What is it that you want to attain? Where do you want to go in business and personal life, etc.? But dealing with like business on this end, what do you want? And if you say you want to have your own business, then there's no excuse for you not having your own business in this day and age. You can really get up and running fairly quickly if you take the time to get serious and buckle down and just get this information off of the internet. So, one of the things that I always recommend and we talk to our team about is getting mentors, right? I have really, really great friends who are uber wealthy. Jay-Z is my best friend, Oprah's my best friend, Tyler Perry's my best friend, right? So we're talking about these people who may not even know who I am, but they're my best friend because I can go to the internet and hear all about how they did what they did. They share that information with us. People have researched them and written about what it is that they've done to get to where they are, what principles they follow, how they, what's their standard operating procedure, right? What do they do every day? How do they hold themselves accountable? Things like that, right? So I get access to all of that information for free. All I have to do is go on YouTube and select that topic and I could read up on it. It doesn't even have to be people, right? You just put a topic that you want, or specific people, I should say. Put in the topic that you want in Google, in YouTube, and you can, or you will get a whole list of different entries that were made by anyone. And you just have to call that information, right? Go through it and be discerning. You don't have to listen to everyone. Not everyone's message is for you. You find the people who resonate with you and who are teaching you exactly what you need to hear, and then you move with that information. So the key with self-education and education in general is to act after you get that information. I am telling on myself. I am one of those people who just like to learn things to learn them, and I spend less time implementing than I should. But just knowing information, being able to talk about things is something that I enjoy. So I definitely have to buckle down and discipline myself in order to implement the information that I am learning and purchasing. Right? I will buy whatever education I need. Plain and simple. You have something I want, I will buy it, I'll learn it, and then the goal is to act on it afterwards, right? But so you want to learn the things that you want to learn and start doing. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have learned everything about it. You learn enough, you start to do. And what's really key here is that you just have to stay one step ahead of the people that you're teaching. You guys see the movie Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio. All he did was learn what he needed to learn in advance of when he had to teach it when he was impersonating a college professor at his young age, right? All he did was read the book one chapter ahead of the students and understood it well enough that he can go into the classroom and teach them, and they were none the wiser that he did not know anything about the topic he was teaching, right? And I don't suggest that you're a poser, right? But you can learn and then do and not have to wait forever and ever to start doing, right? You don't have to wait until you feel like you've just spent 1,000 hours learning something. You want to make sure that you ultimately specialize in what it is that you know or want to know and want to do. And that's 10,000 man hours, right? 10,000 hours to be an expert in something. That's what's required. On the norm, right? So you want to spend as much time learning about your topic, learning about your craft as you need to or want to, but you also need to make sure that you don't allow your desire to learn more prevent you from moving forward and acting and implementing the information. So as far as I'm concerned, no one has an excuse for not knowing whatever it is that they want to know, learning new things. Set aside an hour a day to read. Reading is so fundamental, people. You have no idea, right? And personally, I could try to be a stickler and tell you what to read exactly. The fact is that just read something. Read comic books, right? Those things are complicated depending on which ones you get, right? Trying to understand the storyline and follow it too, right? So it's challenging as well. But you want to read something every day. An hour a day is ideal for you to read to learn something new. And the best way to really reinforce what you're learning is to teach it. So maybe if you're not comfortable going live on Facebook or elsewhere, then go ahead and create a group for yourself and just go live in that group to yourself and teach back to yourself what it is that you learned, because that's going to reinforce what you learned, and you'll remember it more. Write down the different things that you're learning that are key points for you. And the key is to learn to take notes, right? You don't want to take notes on every little thing, right? And just regurgitate everything that someone has said. and it's a craft, so it's not easy. And sometimes you'll start out writing or trying to write every little thing, but you want to make sure that you are getting the key points and maybe taking something there and writing it down as some buzzwords or keywords that'll remind you what it is that topic meant. And that'll make it easier for you to keep up with what it is that you're hearing, or you're just going to stop and rewind it and go back to it, right? I am just a nerd at heart. So I buy books on Amazon mostly, but I go into Barnes and Nobles all the time because it's one of my favorite places. Anyway, and I'll just sit there and go get some tea. My niece turned me on to their peppermint tea that they have there, and so I'll go there and get books and read there. Buy some, go home. If I'm not in a rush to get the book, I'll order it on Amazon instead because it costs a little less. And then I listen to books on Audible. I listen to books and read books on Scribd. I listen to and read books on my Kindle. I have Mentor Box, and I listen to books on there. I listen to books even if I buy them because it's good to hear someone else's intonation and to hear the information. It's more convenient too. If I want to listen while I'm doing something, then I can just play it and have it going in the background. These devices that I mentioned are fairly inexpensive. Audible is the most expensive one. It's about $15 or $16 per month. And you get book credits that you can get a book every month with that credit. Scribd is about $9 per month, and you get access to everything in their library. They have digital books. They also have the audio versions of the books as well. They don't have everything, but they have a good deal of the different books that I look for. So I have multiple services because they're not all available everywhere. Kindle. Kindle Unlimited is your friend. $9.99. It may have gone up a little bit per month, and you get access to hundreds of thousands. And I'm actually under, it's like millions of books that you get access to for free with Kindle Unlimited. So you want to check that out as well. I said it was $9.99, I believe. There's no excuse. That information is out there for you. And again, you can go to YouTube. You get PDFs of books and audio versions of books on YouTube fairly easily. And hell, put it out there. Make your own. Right? People are always looking for summaries of books and things of that nature. So take the time to put that content out there for yourself. Make yourself the expert in what it is that you're learning, and have people look to you for information or look to you as an authority on that topic and accept that you know what you're talking about. That will open up many avenues of income for you as well once you establish yourself as an expert in a particular field. Um, Self-learning or self-education is key, right? But you want to make sure that you specialize. Again, you want to learn as much as you can, but you really want to specialize in something. You don't want to be a master of none, right? Somebody who knows a little bit of everything but masters nothing. That is not as helpful to you, especially if you're looking to build a business where you're helping people with the self-education that you're getting, right? If you want to share that with people, guide people, coach them, then you really need to focus in and zoom in on what it is that you'll really focus on and teach, right? So don't be afraid to specialize in something. And don't be afraid that you aren't the person that you don't think that you're the person that someone would come to for this information. Say, if there's someone who you admire doing the same thing that you want to do, and you feel a little intimidated and think that maybe you won't be able to do as well as that person, you got to remember, hey, you got to remember that the people who are there for you are there for you. So when you learn and you start to develop your curriculum or talk about your expertise and what it is that you're learning, the people who are for you will come to you regardless of who else they can get that information from. So it's all about having the confidence in yourself to use that education wisely and to put it out there for people. And it's all about the discipline. Just get up and do it every morning. Just spend an hour learning something new every day. There's not a day that should go by that you haven't learned something new. And there's not a day that goes by that you shouldn't share something that you've learned each day. And again, whether you're not comfortable sharing it, or if you're not comfortable sharing it on the live, then go ahead and create your own group and go live to yourself just to get that information out there, to reinforce it, and to help yourself get more comfortable in front of a camera. But again, I wish that you all would take the time to find something, right? And in fact, if you would be so kind, go ahead and let me know what it is that you are interested in. Um, and I'm here to help, honestly. So if there's something you're interested in and you're a little hesitant because you're not really sure how to find that information and you want my assistance, reach out to me. I can help you, give you some quick answers to it. Right, I can't spend an excessive amount of time, but I can at least point you in the right direction to get you towards or closer to the information that you're looking for. Because I think that it is just amazing how we can just take ourselves to the next level with all of this free information. And then you also have the opportunity to learn from more closely from people who are experts in, if you're willing to pay that fee for it. So with that being said, I am very hopeful that you guys will get out there and start your journey towards your self-education and whatever it is that you are doing. And yes, ma'am, you can. Um, silly. And just get out there and do it, people. It's there for the taking, honestly. And I've never been more excited about learning. And all of the classes that I take and courses that I sign up for and I spend my money for, I have no problem with that. Spending money on myself is okay. It's going to help me get to that next level. So have a great, great evening, everyone, and I will chat you all tomorrow.